Hey everybody, Jim from Jim's Coleus and Coleus. Okay, a day late. I had planned to do this yesterday, a Friday. Of course, by the time you watch this video, it's really not going to matter what day it is. But anyway, I had planned to do it yesterday, but it was a little raw out still, and I got called into work, which in my line of work that happens. Plans are non-existent sometimes. The holidays, birthdays, all that, but that's neither here nor there. Here we are. It's a beautiful Saturday. I could not ask for a better day to open up the greenhouse. So luckily this year I had a little hand bringing these trays out. Otherwise it would taken me a lot longer. So let's take a look and welcome the 2023 opening of Jim's Coleus of Coleus greenhouse. What a mess. Actually, I did clean this up a month or two ago initially, just to organize it. Meantime, I'm going to put the Coleus trays out on the table in the shade under an awning for about 2 hours. It's really warm. It's almost 70 today. And I'm going to give them a shot of water because they're a little dry. We really want to jump start. This is actually the awning I use at the farmer's market. I think this is going to be the last year for this one, and then I get another one. They're relatively inexpensive. I think they're like 70 bucks. So if I get 3 years out of them, it's cost effective. It's starting to get ripped a little bit, but it's still holding the color. These aren't bad. These Z shades, it's ingenious. But here we are. We got our Coleus trays out here. You got to see some of them, a little bit of sun. $15 trays, but 3 of them I'm donating to the American Cancer Society next week. But you can see there's a light breeze, and this is how you harden your Coleus plants. Now these are the Terranias and basil, and I have some peppers up on the deck, but I'm letting these get full sun because Terranias need sun. I started growing these a few years ago, and I made the mistake of treating them like Coleus, and they need full sun. But I'm still going to be very careful because there's more of a breeze today than I thought. So I'm going to be careful, and I'm going to try to hurry up and get these into the greenhouse because I don't want to burn them. These larger ones I'm not worried about. It's the smaller, more tender ones like this. The wind sometimes can burn them, unless it's really warm out. These are beautiful, but these are still really slow. And these are every year. These are those wizard rose. They just grow so slow. So I'm hoping, but that's a jitters. But I'm hoping that they everything should really jumpstart. But yeah, look at this. This is a nice. I mean, I'm right near the ocean, so it's not always a guarantee to get breeze, but this is actually very beneficial for them because it is pretty mild out. So, but again, I'm going to watch them. This is really the first day that these have been out prolonged. I started them a few weeks ago. I put a few of them out hardening because it was really mild. But again, if you're following along, you saw there was 1 or 2 that got some damage. So I'm going to put these out, but again, I'm not going to overstay their welcome. I'm going to give them a shot of water now just to get it going. And then we'll set up the heater for tonight in case it drops, and it's supposed to. Meantime, Maximus is helping me out. He loves hanging out in the yard with me. They just know how to hang out. Right, Max? They just love the shade. Okay, back into this mess here. Again, it won't take me long because it's pretty much organized. But this is the furnace that I tell you about. This is a disc furnace. These are very safe. If they fall over, they shut off. They have a built-in thermostat. They're electric. They're pretty energy efficient. And this little cube will warm this. Tonight it's supposed to be, I think, in the 50s. Once I get the plants in here, that does a double thing. Is all of the soil and all the surroundings are going to absorb this heat, so they're going to have their own heat to protect them. I'll keep this furnace going, and I'll show you at the end. I'll keep this furnace going tonight on a timer to go all night, to keep it above, and it will keep it above 60. I mean, here we are today. I just opened it up and it's already 90 degrees in here. So this is a very effective greenhouse with shade cloth to protect them from the beating sun, because once the summer arrives and we're in the 90s, it gets well over 100 in here. So I need the fan. This shade cloth is a must, and it comes in different percentages. This is, I believe, a 40%. I think next time I replace it, which is pretty much every 3 years or so, I may go down to a 30 to brighten it up a little bit in here. But it's effective on keeping that beating harsh sun down. Otherwise it would be 120 degrees in here. It would be just way too much. All right, so excuse Bobo, he's barking at something in the backyard. So, all right, so trying a little something different this year. I put some of these, actually one of my subscribers suggested, because these racks are not very good with these planters. You know, they fall over and so forth. So they suggested I get liners, and you know, they sell liners for these. They actually get like $20 for 2 of them, and it's just really ridiculous. I try to be cost effective with this. I'm not looking to spend a lot of money, so I get tons of cardboard boxes, and these are perfect. And I just cut some cardboard boxes up, and yeah, you know, they'll after a while they'll get wet and they'll start to bubble up a little bit, but they'll hold the pots, and hopefully there won't be pots on here long. That's by the end, you know, July, August, and so forth. As the farmers market progresses, I'll have less and less plants. So, and I just use these are almost waterproof, and they'll be perfect for holding these pots. And I like to keep these pots out of the trays. Gives them lots of air. And I'm telling you, from now on, if you're following along, you're going to really start to see some growth. Going to really make a big difference being out here in the greenhouse. So, all right, so I'm about done. I rearranged the greenhouse a little bit. I moved the racks around. I actually got a little more room in here. I have, if you're new to my channel, if you look through, if you scroll down through my long list of videos, I actually did a video on how I built this. It's a very basic lean-to greenhouse, but I invested in good quality woolmanized, pressure treated lumber, and I coated it with clear insect wood life to boot. And this thing will be here for 1,000 years, long after I'm gone. So whoever buys this house is gonna have a greenhouse, or they could take it down. But anyway, lots of room. And this is really gonna start to jumpstart these Coleus. They're gonna be partying tonight. Now maybe there'll be a little bit, it's a little bit of a shock, but we're gonna keep that heater going. But this is really nice because out in the daylight, you get a chance to see the real colors coming through, and there's so many more beautiful than each year, and I've been doing this for 10 years, and each year it's just more and more exciting. Even the same type of Coleus are exciting because there's always a little difference. No two are alike, and that's what's so exciting about it. Every Kong's a little different, whether the reds are a little more vibrant or a little more unusual. You might get some spots here and there. It's just, you know, more, look at that. It's just such beauty, especially these, you know. I mean, I have so many favorites, but these are like etched into my heart. I love that vibrant, and when they get larger and you pot them, they just grab a hold of you. Look at that color. These are beautiful. And look at all of them I have here. These are the ones that are slow to grow, but they're gonna really start to kick in. So I have them over here. I'm gonna see how they do overnight. They're a little close, but I'll batten down the hatches here tonight. But they're still getting a lot of sun over here. I wanna see, maybe they need a little more sun, but not direct baking sun. My jitters are up here, and then I put some of the hardier Coleus up towards the vent window so they can withstand a little more of a chill than these. Again, once I lock up tonight, put the heater on, all the soil in these pots are going to start to get warm, and the heat from one another, like body heat, is going to keep everybody nice and warm. And I'm not going to be worried about any kind of frost damage. The only slight worry I have tonight is perhaps I might have left them out a little too much. Even though it's warm out today, it's not high 70s and there is that breeze, but these have been hardened a little bit. But again, I have remember, with all this extra space that I have 2 Coleus per pot, and probably 2 weeks I'm going to start to create pots. So I'm going to need this room because obviously I have more of these pots inside. I have all these, so these are going to take up a little more room. So I'm going to need this extra room like I do every year. So, but right now this is perfect. They have lots of room, air's pumping through, the oxygen's pumping through. And I think good things are going to happen here. They got everything they need: water, light, fertilizer, good soil. And they got these little guys watching over. I have a couple of those little hanging tins. I had these are 3 I had left over from last year. It's not that I didn't sell them. I think the plants that I had in there died, so I just never repotted them. And they'll go this year. I really have to see what I'm going to put in there. It's very peaceful in here, as you can hear the birds chirping. So we'll see how these do. Again, I've grown these before, and they're always very, very slow, and they're not terribly big. They never really grow huge. They're not big. You know, the ones I've grown in the past just aren't large. And as much as I love the color, I'm going to see how they do this year. I may not grow them next year. It really depends on how they go, as opposed to these, which are just, you know, I know these are going to be really. These are going to be a good size. So, and there's some there a little larger. And there's that jitters that I mentioned. It has a little bit of that, you know, that color, that fuchsia color. I love those. I'm going to try to get seeds out of this plant. See if the offspring will be exactly like that. It's not guaranteed, but I had a few that mutated. These are jitters. They mutated out, and they got a little bit of that pink and white, which is really beautiful, especially for jitters. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on that one. So we're well on our way. Again, I have these 3 other trays. Actually, I have the Terranias here. I forgot about these. I have my Bluebell Terranias and color mixed Terranias. I have some basil just for myself. And I think I have 3 or 4 peppers. And don't forget the Rosy Dawn order. So we got to move these in too. So I do need some space. I had these out in the shade for a while, and I just put them here in the direct sun just for about a half an hour, not even. And they've had enough. I'm going to put these back right into the greenhouse now. They've been out here enough. And I got a few peppers going too. So, and don't forget clementine, my clementine tree. I won't get any fruit this season, but next year definitely will. But she's really doing well. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 4 new shoots coming out. So she's doing really, really well. Okay, so here we are. We're pretty much set. This is the furnace that I use. It's a disc furnace. You can get these on Amazon. Again, they're very safe. There's nothing combustible. You can put a piece of tissue up against it. It won't go on fire. If it falls over, it shuts off. Has thermostat in different sizes. You put it on automatic. That's for the thermostat, which is right here. I'll leave this running all night. I do have it plugged in, not yet, but I do have it plugged into an internet timer, which I can actually control through my phone. So if I want to shut it off at, say, 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm at work, I can do that. Or if I forgot to turn it on, I didn't have the timer on the right way, or I can turn it on from my phone too. But these are really great, and they're very efficient. This will heat this whole greenhouse up on a 50-degree night, or say it's 47 degrees tonight. It'll, with the help of the warmth of the pots, with the doors and windows closed, it will keep it at least in the low 60s, perhaps, which is fine for the Coleus. I don't have to worry about them, these young ones, getting damaged. So these are really good. Coleus is a brand. Some of them are expensive. You can get these for, when they first came out, I remember selling these back in the 80s when I was a stock boy in the hardware store. I think they were like $200, and they haven't changed much. They look the same, but there's quite a few brands, so look them over. If you're not sure where to get one, so forth, drop me a line. I'll get you a link, but they're really good. So here we are. Got some sun still peeking through. Late in the day, the sun comes in from the west, obviously, and so we're getting some sun here. There's those Rosy Dawn plants. They're gonna do right well. Once the temperatures start to get up in the upper 70s and 80s, I'll get the fan in here if it gets too hot. And you know what really makes a big difference is when we get those misty, rainy, sort of humid rainstorms. If you really read into Coleus, they say they don't like a lot of moisture and so forth, but I don't know, mine always seem to really do well on those hot, muggy, gross, misty, rainy summer nights and days when we get those misty rainstorms and so forth. There's nothing better than natural rain. So rainstorms, heavy rain, of course, there's nothing better than natural rain. So that's all upcoming. So stay tuned here, Jim's Holiest of Coleus. Little preview. All right, very nice. And these are still in the trays. These are the plants that I'm donating to American Cancer. So these will be gone next week. I believe the cancer run is May 16th. So donating these 3 trays. Okay, everybody, that was a long day, but we're all moved in here, so I'm happy. I can relax now. I really wanted to get them in here. You know, every year I get myself all worked up. Again, I want to get everything going, but I have to be careful. Don't want to, again, as you know, if you're following along, you don't want to rush out too long, you know, too fast. I mean, yes, this is a greenhouse, but it's not a professional sized greenhouse with electricity and fan system built in. I have a fan that I actually bring in, and I have an extension cord for my heat and so forth. But still, if it's going to be 35 outside, it's not. I'm not going to start plants in November or anything like that. It's not that type of greenhouse. It's really a fair weather greenhouse here in New Jersey. So, but it's frost date is passed. No danger of frost. Just looking at the temperatures at night for the next 2 weeks, going to be well above 50. Fine, no problem whatsoever. I think once we get the heater in here and all of the plants go through a day or two of cycling of heat, the soil will be nice and warm, and with the heater at night, everything will be really, really good, optimal for growth. And we're going to start to really see these things wake up, because again, there's only so much they're going to grow indoors, except for like a overwintered potted Coleus that's already grown and you have it at a bay window. That's different. But as far as like growing large amounts of plants in these nursery pots, really, they really need a greenhouse setting to really get them going. And this is it. So stay tuned, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this. We got so much more to come. Next video, we'll see what we're going to be doing. Really going to now take a look at everything and start designing some pots. Here we go. I got some of these fluted pots. If you really look through my videos, I have all different types of pots. I picked a couple. I picked a bunch of these up. These are kind of neat. Still got, I drilled them holes already. I forgot about that. Always make sure you have drain holes. You need drain holes. Otherwise, when you water, the soil is going to stay saturated. The roots are going to rot and you're going to lose your plant. So make sure you drill a hole or two. But these are kind of cool. So we'll see. I might put some terranias in here. We'll see what happens. So, but that's what I love. Creating pots, hanging baskets. I think I got one right behind me. Well, I'll get a few hanging baskets. We'll make those up. So lots of plans for the future. You can see those pots in the background. So stay tuned. Jim's Holiest of Coleus here. Stay tuned, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. And thanks for watching.